That's great.
Rio's supposed to be on.
Yeah.
Vancouver has a pretty hot.
Glacier.
Oh, you want Oh. Had all kinds of readouts, but I don't have no idea what they. How do I
Just put on all that. Just put on all that. You can't go wrong.
How do I do it like this?
Straight up.
Right there.
It's for-
That's about as good as it's gonna get.
There's an iceberg.
Yeah.
Iceberg. And how do I get out of that?
Just push it.
We don't get there.
breaking news tonight on your doors in case you need assistance in our last port in Chile. Yes. Then we're still in we're going to the Beagle Channel, Ushuaia, which is already Argentina. Cape Horn is again Chilean waters, but we're not stopping there. We're just gonna face it, and then we're going on the South Atlantic. With the sortija, the ring, the doma, drinking, fighting, gambling, but deep changes came to the gauchos' way of living later on in the 1800s. What happened? The Pampas, south of Chile, Uruguay, south of Brazil, they are very, very rich land in terms of agriculture and in terms of cattle ranching. Yes, the soil had very good properties. That's why they say if you eat a beef in Argentina, yes, it's so good because of the cows are fed with natural pastures. They don't need any chemicals or fertilizers. And the landowners, they started to realize this, and they started to occupy the land. And the gauchos say, hey, wait a minute. This is my land. These are my horses, and these are my cows. Not anymore, my friend. You get out of here. I have some papers that said that now is mine. Occupation, illegally, of course. But it was a clear conflict between both, between gauchos and landowners, with a clear and obvious resolution. The landowners were friends of whom? Oh, the politicians, exactly. 2 dots, capital letters, 200 years in this part of the world. Corruption. Yeah? And in other parts of the world too, right? Yeah, you see what? So they were claiming the politicians were doing everything in favor of the landowners. So now the gauchos having images of lazy people, savage, drunken people. Now they're having the image also of cattle thieves, because they were trying to get their cows, and they say, no, you're stealing my property. So what was the idea? They have to run or they have to give up. Some of them, they gave up. They say, okay, I'm tired of running from here to there. So they started to work for the landowners. What were the jobs? Very easy. To round up, to maintain, and to brand the cattle. The same that they were doing for the whole life, but now working for someone else, making a shift, and also trying to get a wage. But the salary were ridiculous. Yes, they were very, very low. So many of them, they were also fed up from the landowners, and they went to work in the cities. They started to emigrate. Now, believe it or not, in this part of the world, the immigration, this is something apart from what I'm saying, but the exode is coming on the other side. Yes, from the cities that people are getting a little bit tired of the insecurity, of the safety, yes, and of the pollution, and of all the crowds, and they are going back to the interior, yes, to the countryside. But in those days, it was the other way around, and they started to come to work as plumbers, as carpenters, as electricians, as firemen, as police. But later on, the gauchos were used. Why? Wars were coming in this part of the world, yes? And they say, okay, you look very good in skills with the horses, you can manage a weapon, maybe we can use your skills to go to war. Huh. Now you want me? Yeah, you've been insulting me and chasing me all my life, and now you want what? It's very simple. Or you come to fight for the central government, or you go to jail. Yeah, that's very easy. So they have to accept. Yes, if they go to fight, then they have a salary, and they will recover their freedom and their life. And they say that the gauchos didn't have any high desertion as any other groups. They fought, first of all, in the 1806 and 1807, there were British invasions over here, and later on, the last time that, for example, they fought in Argentina, it was in 1880s. There was a captain, a colonel called Roca, that not happy the landowners with the Pampas, they wanted to occupy these lands, the Patagonia, the region of the south. Yeah, not only that, now we want more, yeah? And ironically, the gauchos had to fight against their own blood, because the campaign that was created was called Campaign to the Desert here in the Patagonia, full of Indians. They say that it was a campaign to domesticate the Indians. But there was no domestication, it was almost annihilation. Many of them were killed, and the gauchos were fighting against their part of their blood. Because remember, the gauchos were mestizos, yeah, mixed of Indian and Spanish blood. But let's leave the history on the table, yes? How do a gaucho used to dress himself? Let's take a look. First of all, a boina, a beret, yes? B-O-I-N-A. This was adopted because when the Basque French came over here. All right. Then we have a handkerchief. Like a boina. I look like Pablo Picasso, yeah, like a French painter. Yeah. This is what they used to have. Yes, to avoid the sweating. A working shirt. Today this gaucho is sponsored by this bandage company. Tomorrow, who knows, right? Then this is what we call a faja. F-A-J-A, faja. This was only for ornamental purposes, and you put it on the waist. This is the Argentine flag. And this one, look how pretty it is. This is called rastra. Can you pronounce the R like that? Rastra.
Rasta.
Good, very good. You took Spanish already, very good, Latin American. Rastra is a belt, it's a leather belt. But
Let me take a picture of this.
It was for two functions. First of all, when they wear it, they used to,
Okay.
it was to
That's good
hold
enough for
on
me.
for so many
Thank you.
hours of riding the horses, maybe, 8 or 9 hours in the horse, and they needed that to support the back. And also, for ornamental purposes, they used to stick a lot of coins, yes? And the more that they jingle, the more wealthy that the gaucho wants to show. These are like, this must belong to a very poor gaucho, I don't know, because these very cheap coins, yes? Yeah, low value. But they used to put it also on the waist.